Women are not all frills and cooking oil. I chose this topic, or the title, because that's how women were viewed. Women were the doll-like creature that always has their hair done, makeup done, manage the kids, and all managed to have dinner on the table by the time their husband got home. With World War I, World War II, and the Great Depression, that all changed. Whenever the Army was in serious need for men, the women had to step up and work. Once the men returned and wanted to take back their old positions, the new women of the workforce, they didn't want to give up those positions. Women wanted to help bring in money to the family. Some workplaces, though, wanted to split the pay, meaning they would pay a husband and wife less than they would pay a single parent. This caused the husband's ego to hurt. They didn't like making the same amount as their spouse. They were supposed to be viewed as the breadwinner of the family. It was affecting the family structure. Women wanted to create a labor union just for women to fight for women's labor rights and benefits. This proved to be very difficult, since most work plans were dominated by males. Women struggled to find the support they needed, because whenever employers sat down to collective bargain, they didn't want to deal with a woman. So women were forced to join other unions run by men to find success. And these are some definitions of those words that I just used to reiterate what I'm saying. The Association of Flight Attendants and Airline Steward and Stewardesses Association were created by means of airline health. Once airline gained popularity, so did the need for more airplanes. The need for staff increased with this release of each plane. These labor unions were very successful, with this being a limited field. It made striking easier. Like every labor union, they bargained for wages, working hours, conditions, etc. But they also bargained for dress code. Now, dress code wasn't affected so much with men because they had their typical solid colored shirt, vest, tie, as it was for women. Airline owners quickly discovered that more customers liked having a female on board. Customers believed that they brought comfort to nervous passengers due to their nurturing demeanor. Stewardesses were okay with this because more women were hired for that position. Advancements in aircraft increased and the dress code changed with every plane. When the jet was released, this was usually filled with high-class guests. The gentlemen aboard preferred their stewardesses, like the lady in the middle, looking like a housewife. This made stewardesses very uncomfortable. After the airline company refused their request, the Association of Flight Attendants and the Airline Steward and Stewardesses Association performed an 8-month strike. The airline company tried busing people into work, but those bussed in, they joined the strike. They realized what was going on, and they didn't like it, so they all wanted change. And things happened. The Airline Steward and Stewardess Association was rapidly gaining support from past and present members, but bargaining did become harder. The reason? Men were intimidated by women's power. The Airline Steward and Stewardess Association had to elect a man to bargain to gain any ground. A huge step made by the Association of Flight Attendants changed the whole airline community. They were responsible for an agreement between the Association of Flight Attendants and United Airlines. This agreement raised minimum wage, capped the amount of hours logged in a month, and made the dress code appropriate. It was called the Green Book. More unions tried to recreate the success they once had, but this proved to be very difficult. Feminism and labor unions used to go hand in hand, but as time passed, these two movements, they grew apart. This made it very difficult to get everybody on the same page with the same goal. Women labor unions were so hard to create, they only lasted a few months. And this definitions of feminism. Used to, women took a back seat to the labor workforce. It was believed a woman's place was at home taking care of the house and children. Labor unions were the change. They were the change that created a better image, a new image, a hardworking woman that could do just as much as a man could.